Hello everyone on what is a wonderful sunny day here in East Kent. This is our February update and comes the day after the latest government guidance has been announced. And isn't it great to have the hope that the vaccine is giving to us? But nevertheless, it's probably still going to be a matter of months before we can start to gather again in some form as a church. But life goes on. So what's been happening? Well, we've held our twice yearly learning community for missional community core teams over the last couple of weeks. And it's been so encouraging to be able to meet with people and hear what's been happening and help facilitate them in making plans for the next 6 months. And we've been hearing about some of the fun times that some of you have been having together, even in the midst of really difficult circumstances. And also the creative ways that you've been out there blessing others, your friends, your neighbours, stories of us serving food, together, cooking together in order to serve the homeless. There's been so much going on, so thank you. And prayer seems to be a common thread at the moment. Many of our communities recognising the need to be praying for God to show each of us where he's already at work so that we can join in with him. Prayer to hear something of his heart for our neighbours and our communities. Prayer for boldness in stepping out in obedience to him. And prayer walking has been something in people's plans coming up. And with the weather improving, we've got some great opportunities for that. So a huge thank you to our communities, our core teams, and to each one of you who's part of St George's as we continue to travel together. And for some of you, I know, life's been a real struggle in recent times, but it's been a real privilege to continue to journey together in thankfulness for the community and the relationships that we've got, in praising God for who he is and his love for us. And as we take the opportunities to share his message of hope with others. I'm going to hand over to Chris now. So I look forward to be able to see you again, hopefully in the not too distant future. Bye for now.
Thanks, Sheila. One of the things we did at the learning community for our core teams was to take a poll and to ask them how they were feeling about life and how they were feeling about the life of their community. And it was really encouraging that over 60% of people chose for both of those, that they were feeling hopeful. And that's great because we are a hope-filled people. And we were thinking about hope and about the fact that we are those who first of all receive hope. And we were doing that with some verses from the beginning of Isaiah 61, which is the passage that Jesus chose for his mandate, even though it originally spoke for the people of Israel in exile in Babylon. You'll know some of these words. Hear them again. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favour. And then he goes on to talk about comforting those who mourn and giving those who grieve a crown of beauty rather than ashes and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. It describes those to whom God's hope came. But then the really interesting thing is what he goes on to say in verse 4, where he says, they will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. It was those people who had received hope who were those who were called to bring it to the trouble that they came across. And I think that's what God is saying to us now, that as we receive his hope and as we begin to step into the future, whatever that looks like and however it comes, and we're not quite there yet, Where is God's call to us to rebuild, to restore, and to renew? Yes, there's much that's been lost that we want to recover. There is some brokenness that God is going to need to fix. And then there are new things, new ways of living as the family of Jesus, which will be different for us, I'm sure. So we're not there yet, but God is preparing us for a new season. And as we pray, and as we learn how we can share the story of God's work in our lives more faithfully and effectively and fruitfully, we're looking for God's new opportunities. So let's rejoice in the hope that Jesus gives us, watch for the opportunities that he opens up before us, and look forward to the rebuilding, the restoring and renewing which he is calling us to. It's been great to be with you. God bless you all. Bye.